So this right here is the outside edge of your tooth that's up on the camera screen up there.
Okay.
So we scanned the upper arch where that tooth is. We scanned the lower arch, and this is what they look like when they bite together. So the machine in the back is going to make a porcelain tooth that will fit exactly in that spot.
So you're actually taking a mold of my...
Through the video camera, it sends it to the computer in the back while it's milling and has the exact measurements to fit in that exact spot.
So it's all done electronically?
Correct. So before we got this, we used to have to take an impression, send it out to the lab. They would make the crown or the online and send it back. Now with this, you can do it all in one visit.
Wow. That's amazing.
So there's your prep.
Photoshop on steroids.
That's right, huh?
So this is essentially a 3D model that you're creating.
Correct.
And then you're doing it in the office in just a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
And that's
20
what you,
minutes.
so you sent it out right now to the back?
So what's happening now is the computer is calculating the upper model, the lower model, and how the teeth bite together. So it's just like we were pouring up a stone model and mounting it in a lab on an articulator.
And then that gets sent back to an actual...
milling unit. So we'll put in a block of porcelain, and it will mill the exact restoration. So the bite will be right on, the contacts between the teeth will be right on, because it's all been digitally scanned. So instead of taking an impression where it's going to be like a stone model where there's expansion or contraction depending on humidity or temperature, this is very accurate.
Must be very expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. I'll tell you. Now that I have it, I use it daily. So I'm just adjusting the model. So now it knows how your teeth bite together. Next thing I'm going to do is tell the computer how it's oriented. Okay. So now the computer is going to figure out. I'm going to tell it where I want this restoration to go.
Fascinating what technology can do these days.
Awesome. It's good I took that before picture because you can kind of see what we're fixing.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did because I'm going to write this up. You don't get enough credit here. Seriously.
He makes everything look easy.
The contacts and the opposing model so that it's not too high. It's kind of otherworldly there.
It really is.
Good, okay. Now it's a little lower than this premolar here, so I'm going to see if I can raise it just a little bit. Yeah, just keep an eye on. I'm kind of looking down the corridor of the teeth, and I want to make sure it's not sticking out too much. You kind of imagine premolar crown. I'll probably bring that in a little bit. That looks good. At the same height as.
So what is this actually called?
It's called a CEREC machine.
No, what you're doing, it's not necessarily...
An onlay.
An onlay.
Yep. So it's a restoration that replaces missing tooth structure without having to take all of the tooth structure away.
So with this machine, you can also do...
crowns, bridges.
Wow.
Big fillings, big tooth-colored fillings if we need to. This is porcelain that we're going to be using, so it's very strong.
And what are you doing now?
I'm adjusting the thickness. Red means that it's going to be hitting too heavy. So I don't know why I gave it such a heavy bite right there, but I don't like that. So we're just going to adjust that. Little bite is okay, but that was too much. Let me just smooth it out a little bit here.
I'm glad you took the before photograph.
Yeah, me too.
Because now when we go through this will be very cool.
Yeah, I see the whole thing when we're done.
Yeah.
Make sure it looks okay on the model here. Yeah, got good contacts. Alrighty.
Incredible.
Inside the porcelain, it comes with just a block of porcelain. So she's just going to put in the right size and everything, and then we'll mill it. So it knows right now the door is open to the milling chamber because she's putting the piece in, so it's telling me to wait.
So that is the porcelain cube?
Yep.
Block, for lack of a better term?
Yeah. This is what's in the machine right now. And right now, what's happening is the machine is making sure it's the right block in there. It's making sure it's the right size from what we told it.
So you're milling the porcelain like you would mill a piece of metal.
Anything. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And this takes about 8 minutes?
Yep. And there's a little timer right here, so.
Wow, it's fascinating.
It's pretty cool.
It really is. I'm afraid to ask, what did something like this cost?
It's like 120 grand.
Wow. So what are you actually doing now?
I'm just contouring the side of the onla here. I'm going to try it in, make sure it's a good fit, and then we're going to polish it and bond it in place. Good, okay. So I'm going to try this again here. Go selfie style.
Am I close?
Down a little bit. Here, I'll move your arm. There you go.
Okay, Steve, let's set that.
And what we're doing now?
I'm light carrying a little piece of composite on there. So this is, the light sets the material.
Good.
This is like the pre-polish. This just starts to smooth out the surface of the porcelain. Okay, so it's got the initial smoothing. See? It's getting nice and shiny there. I'll put the high shine on this. Off of there here. Just gonna clean up the tooth here.
Go ahead.
That's the before. I should probably, you know what? Like the gums are irritated and everything right now. We can get a nice after picture once, in a day or so when things settle down. But or next time you come in for a cleaning, then we'll get a nice after picture because it'll look back to normal. The gums are all angry right now. But we're done. We saved this cusp of the tooth. It blends right into the bite.
Fascinating.
Let's do it.
Amazing what technology can do.
Done. Fixed.
Thank you very much.
Oh, of course.